Recording in progress.
To have you preoccupied with that so that you do not have access to your own God-given power. Yeah.
Look, we've been joined by Mike Randolph down in Tampa. What's up, Mike?
Not much. Thank you for inviting me. I enjoy these intellectual conversations.
Hey, how you doing, Mike? Nice seeing you.
Me too. Good to see you, Mike.
What have you learned as of late, Mike?
Man, I learned that I didn't know a whole lot about nothing when it comes to history. My whole history was really defined by the TV set, by someone else's version of history. I didn't understand that we part of everything. Everything. Right. All the way back from the beginning. So it has enlightened me to know that we're not this good at football, baseball, being a lawyer, being a doctor, but we created civilizations, and those civilizations, this whole planet was used for the roadmap. I would not have known that had I not engaged in these conversations. I tell you, the first night it just threw me back. It was just too much. I had to come back night after night after night and take it in. Until I was able to kick it back out again. But that's how engaging the conversation was. It's not for the weak-minded. If you're weak-minded, please stay home, because you'll definitely get a headache. But you'll definitely get an appreciation if you can understand the truth, that we're telling our own story and the truth that's coming out.
Hey, Mike, did you grow up thinking we came from Africa?
I did, but I saw the interpretation through Tarzan. You know, I thought that we were like, first of all, we didn't know how to talk, man. We were stupid. We depended on anybody but ourselves. And this white man across the trees and everything like that, man, right? And that's how I grew up. And it disenfranchised me from Africa, because I always saw Africa as a bad thing, and I didn't understand that there were cities in Africa that look as good as the cities here, but it was my limited lens in terms of grasping what Africa looked like, and that was the best way to keep us from Africa. Why would we want to connect over there? But now that we enlightened, look how we are beginning to intertwine and connect to each other, because unlike any other race, man, we're the only ones that don't have a country. So it's indicative on us to make sure we connect back to Africa.
Well, Mike, I just want to share with you that only 5% of the slaves transported in the slave trade came to North America. Only 5% came to North America. Only 5% came to North America. That means roughly, say 500,000 tops. Mike, how do you explain 44 million Black people today?
Well, first of all, they send them all over the place, not only the United States. I think the United States only got 1%, as what I learned from this show, only got a small percent. But so even if it's only a small percent, I still think we need to connect back to Africa.
What I'm saying is, Mike,
economically, that is.
In Columbus's diary, he mentions when he goes to Hispaniola that the natives were at war with a black tribe that wore white hooded robes, and they had these spears. And on these spears, they had gold spears, and they call it guanine. This is in Columbus's diary about the expedition. On the third expedition, his son says that they seen Negroes on another island. So it's been people of color and Black people, maybe from Africa, here long ago. You get what I mean? It wasn't just that the European discovered this, and this the beginning of civilization over here. Exactly. This is just the continuation of, and we're unearthing, like Peter said earlier, and like you said, we're telling the story. We're doing the due diligence, learning the past, researching it, and telling what we find out. And that's what we need to do, because it's there. All this information is there. We just got to have people that's willing to research and pass it on. So this is the Mayans.
So Mike, you know what this picture is right here?
I know I should know because I know you brought this picture up a couple times, right?
These are the Mayans.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Right.
You see their
It's
complexion?
another thing I learned, man.
You see the complexion?
Yes.
Okay, and you see this head right here?
Yes.
Now there's some Mexicans who say that nose is Mexican.
I don't know, man. It looks
But
black to me, right?
that nose and them lips look very Negroid to me.
Yes. I mean,
Well,
you know,
Mike, that's right there in Mexico.
right. This is deep, man. I tell you, man, Dan, I cannot commend you and the panel for coming on week after week, giving this type of knowledge out there. See, white people don't want us to be engaged in this deep of a conversation. They want us to deal with surface understanding, but not to go dive deep, because then you think differently. And the one thing they don't want us to do is to think differently. So I think what you do with this type of history, it allows us to think differently. Now, what is this?
This is the back of the Olmec head. So you see this head right here? This is an Olmec head. Olmec. Olmec. Now this is the back of the head. Because there are those who would argue that they are not Negroid. They're not melanated.
It's a lot of
But those are
conversation.
dreadlocks.
Yeah. History speaks for itself. The facts are the facts. They can't take that from us. We got the facts are the facts. All you have to do is look.
Right.
So one other thing, Mike, right there where these stone heads are, did you know that North America has these mound pyramids?
I do, and I learned it from your show, and from what I gathered from your show was that a lot of them was here in the United States, built right here in the United States.
Look at that hill right there, Mike. Does that remind you of any hill in Baltimore?
Joe Hill Park, right?
Look like Mondawmin Mall to me too.
Mondawmin.
What is that? It looks familiar, man. I remember going up those steps, right?
No, man, you ain't go up those steps. But they're all across America, about 450 of them at least. And Horace has told us, he's shown us many pictures of them where they have fences around them, where they're cordoned off from the general public.
So so that means that, what does that tell us that it's
Horace has helped us to understand that these are burial mounds and there's energy within them. Is that right, Planet? Did I say that right?
Yeah. I mean, they had multi-purpose. One of them was burial grounds to give reverence to the ancestors, but they were also aligned cosmologically with the heavens.
Like we were talking about the spring equinox and stuff like that.
Correct.
To that.
Correct. You know? So they were, natural interface with the cosmos in terms of their design.
Here's another pyramid, Mike. I'm sorry.
I was saying, could you talk more about the energy that's coming out of these pictures? That's deep. What is the nature of the energy that's coming out?
Well,
we're learning. For
one thing, when you look at put up the previous one, Donnie, Chichen Itza, where? Yeah, one of the things you can see is that in order to create that, you have to have a very exalted knowledge of mathematics, science, and physics. Right? You have to. Right? And the placement of it in relationship to the sky and the universe, cosmology, right, is a very powerful thing in its own right. Having been there, I would say that these structures emanate a type of, I don't know, it, for me anyway, it stirs up ancient feelings.
Wow.
You know, there's a certain presence and a certain peace that you feel just being around that type of geometry.
That's deep. That's deep.
You know.
Again, you don't get this knowledge everywhere. So look, I'm honored to be here to get all this knowledge, man, because knowledge is powerful. The more you know,
so Mike, I want to take you back to the numbers. If only 500,000 Africans came here, and there are 44 million melanated people today, don't that tell you something, Mike?
I don't know, man. I'm trying to grasp what the only thing what it tells me, man, is that
did you get 44 million?
A lot of us came. A lot of black people came from other than the United States. Slaves came from other than the United States.
But there's another possibility, Mike, and it's going straight over your head.
Okay.
There were people already here.
Okay.
Now,
so that's what I'm saying. Knowledge is power, and that's why I keep coming back to the show, because you link it so well. That they was here already, right? That's deep. And I cannot begin to talk about how deep this is. How much knowledge that's coming out of this particular show. Ever since y'all got started, you continue to give up that knowledge.
But now, Mike, are you
in terms of this structure here, right? That structure, of course, was here long before there was anything called the United States. So who is it that had that kind of knowledge beforehand? Because you as you can see, you can't build that one in a week.
So one of our stories is that it was us who built that. Correct. That's why I call us Muskoka-Leki, because that comes in Chichen Itza. So the religious part of the Muskogee came from that place and came to what we call Kusa. And they was the ones who kept the spiritual side of the Muskogee. So when you talk about the Abika and the Natchez, you talk about the Natchez and the Edisto and these tribes, these were the tribes that came from down there. You know what I mean? So you can go in Georgia and find quote unquote Mayan artifacts in Georgia. You can find the blue, that the Mayans use blue ink or blue clay to paint their bodies. You can find that in Georgia. You get what I mean? What it's like indigo like.
Mm-hmm.
So you can find that right there in Georgia. But like you said, Mike, think about this one. Every place that they went to, they encountered people. So they got to let you know it wasn't a place that was empty. You get what I mean?
Right.
And those people had a history. Like Dark Gables, he's in here, he's throwing some gems. He said one thing that caught my attention. He talks about the Aztecs coming from the Hawaiian Islands, for example. He said the Aztecs aren't indigenous to Anahuac or New Spain, Mexico, but they are folks. But are actually from the Hawaiian Islands. So when you do your research and you learn about the Northern American tribes, you'll start really seeing that the Northern American tribes got Southern American roots. And then you'll start seeing that the Southern American roots is basically like three big tribes, like the Aztecs, the Incas, and the Mayans. Then you'll start seeing like when the Europeans start coming, the Spanish and the French, you start seeing at that time the Aztecs was really pushing everybody. The Mayans and the Incans up out of there. You get what I mean? The Incas was fighting. They was moving up into like the middle of North America, like through Texas and through Oklahoma. Aztecs was going that way as well. The Natchez and other Mayan groups, they was coming up through the Gulf. That you'll start seeing like the Gulf of America. You know, the Gulf, like down there by Mississippi and all that type of stuff. So you'll start learning this. And then you start learning like linguistics, languages. You start
can I just jump in for a second?
Yes, sir.
Coming to this platform makes me feel like I'm at a university. You know, that's how deep y'all were getting with this knowledge. So I'm sorry, my brother. Keep on going.
Yeah, that's a good thing though, because you know, at a university, when you're at a university level, you're basically teaching yourself to be the teacher. You get what I mean? You're teaching yourself to be the teacher, to be able to teach others. So in order to be able to do that, you got to be able to, I guess, look at things objectively, but be able to take in the information and quantify it, I guess, and you know,
Also,
your objective already. You know, like my objective is to be able to have a legal footing in court when I say that my family is indigenous. So that's my goal. So in order for me to do that, I got to find these legal things, you know, these treaties, these land allotments, and these are things that I found, and so I'm building a case. So just, you know, in order for me to do that, my research had to be pointed a certain way. And just like a person who want to go ahead, plan it.
Also, like you pointed out, that the feeling was that of like a university, right? So when we say university, what does that actually mean? So it means our relationship to the study of the what? The universe. Right? So when you look at the structure of that pyramid structure, you see innately that they were deeply studying the universe. Right? So the people had the knowledge of the fact that we are universal people, and that our goal is to bring heaven to earth and vice versa. Right? So this is what they call primitive people. All right? When we was growing up, they cloistered, they put in a container all indigenous people, and they labeled them primitive. So our natural reaction would be to repel from that, right? Because like you had demonstrated that, you know, you learned a lot of stuff about Indians from television, right? Now, also, these particular multicultural oppressors, right? When they came together to make what we now call the United States. And on the books, it described a law that you could not teach. Okay? A person had to read and how to write. Right? Now, here in Hawaii, they did the same thing, and they told the people, no, you can't speak your language. If you do, we'll cut your tongue out. Right? So what is it about knowledge that is so that has to be put under wraps? Right? So when we look at the Olmec heads, you can see an exalted quality of artistry, right? That has to come from a highly intellectual people. Now, when I say intellectual, I'm simply mean a high quality of learning and inquisitiveness in the nature of what we're doing here on this rock in space, right? So once again, the university is the inquiry into all life, all nature connection, so that we can live a more spiritually governed perspective and life, and stop killing each other over stupid things that really don't make any, that don't even, they're an aberration to what the quality of the gift of living is about.
I think anything that a man think is he can create, or anything we look at we can emulate. I think that's the reason why they didn't want us to read. Meaning that once we learn the principles of certain things, because within the reading of like higher knowledge, it's like the principles of nature, the principles of measurements. Once we understood those, we can build them pyramids again.
Correct.
You get what I mean? Once, what makes a mason is not those who just join the group, but I'm talking about those who know trigonometry and geometry, those who know how to lay the bricks and know how to correspond that to the stars. Those are the masons. You get what I mean? And those was the ones who held these secrets. But I think that's the knowledge that they was trying to hide from us. You get what I mean?
They didn't come over here with the pyramids. They discovered the pyramids when they got here.
But I'm saying like that knowledge within, like, like how they was measuring the pyramids in the days from the elbow to arm or such. Once we learned that baseline, what we were saying, the baseline of any sciences, we can be able to flourish in it, no matter what it is. It would be beyond sports. We the ones who brought mathematics and sciences to the world. But like one of the comments was, one of the people in the viewers was saying this, that they taught us different ways to learn. You get what I mean? We already had our own ways to learn. But at the same time, we got to use both in a sense. You get what I mean? I think it's adapt and overcome. You get what I mean? Fall to the wayside.
In the old, pre-African learning situations, you had to go to school 4 years of science, 4 years of mathematics, 4 years of language. It took you 16 years to get a college degree, really, because your knowledge was going to be that depth and that intense. And you were going to get different teachers along the way. You were going to get multiple perspectives. And so there is a lot to fear in that. They reduced it down to 4 years, but imagine how powerful a person you could be if you took 16 years, of just pure study and intellectual growth.
Yeah, just like in the trades. Like if you're in the trades, they call you a journeyman,
Yeah.
So having that time in the field, you should be adapt, or you should be proficient. That's the word I'm looking for. You should be proficient in anything you into 10 to 16, 20 years at it.
Yeah, very proficient at just thinking and solving problems. Because that's what you really want to be as an educated person, is a problem solver. And so you want to draw on all this intelligence that you've gathered from the arts and the sciences and, other disciplines in order to be significant and well-rounded, able to adapt, able to solve problems. Yeah.
So I think that last, Brenda, nice to see you in your comments. She said science is catching up with the Bible, They try so hard to get us out the Bible and the New Testament because it directs you to what white people are and how they came about. I think I take it a little bit more deeper. I think if you look at the Torah and look at it in the Hebrew, you can see it's a coded language, and each one of them letters represents a number, and then you can dissect the code. It's not encoded like in the English language. I think in order to understand that book, you got to be well-rounded in a couple things, and you got to be well-rounded in history to understand that book.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I mean? So that's why a lot of people is apprehensive about it. You get what I mean? They don't understand what's in there. That's why you look at the bottom. If for example, at the bottom of it, they got these concordance or where you can refer to another book, and they got the Hebrew word for certain words. You get what I mean? And these got codes, and you can ask. It's like in a war, what a person that send these codes. It's like you know what I'm talking about. A person that want to send a coded message. That's what a lot of this stuff is. And that's why you got groups like Masonic orders and all these things, these people that can read these codes. You get what I mean?
Absolutely.
So that's what I was thinking when she was saying the Bible and science, you know.
There was a comment about Hawaii. I think someone said that didn't happen in Hawaii or something like that. Yeah. What I don't understand what they're referring to.
I don't know that I would give that too much credence. This guy's been in the chat throwing bricks. He made a few comments. But it seems to be like one of those people, like this guy here. He's doing some trolling. Okay. Stella, I missed this. Hey, Stella, been a minute. World traveling has happened outside of France, Spain, and Britain. Attempts of conquest. Why can't folks grasp outside of what's been skewed and taught? Indoctrination, I would think. But she brings to mind, we haven't talked about something very major that's going on. Do you know what Trump is doing now in the Strait of Hormuz? He announced today that they are stopping every ship coming through the Strait of Hormuz, and he's getting attacked. So any ships coming through the strait, that's the waterway in between, you know, it's Iran above it, Israel, all of that. Any ships coming through, either Iran going to tax them or the U.S. going to tax them. And the U.S. is, Trump is playing big dog, bully type right there. So, and by the way, yesterday I saw that the draft is coming back. Is that correct?
Yeah, they heard about that a few weeks ago. That the
draft is coming back for up until the age of 26, or they're attempting to bring back the draft, I should say.
I think it's up to 20. Yeah, I think they said something about it reestablishing it.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen though.
Well,
too many white kids might be drafted, so that's not going to happen.
Well, that's what I wanted to get to. There was an incident here, Michael, on Pennsylvania Avenue, and a lot of people were making comments about my community. A lot of disparaging comments. One comment I remember specifically, he wrote, "Drugs, guns, and whores." That's what he said about my community. And I was saying, and this guy's probably Harford County. You have no guns, no drugs, no whores in Harford County.
Can I respond to that, Donnie? Because my question to them.
Thank you, Stella.
My question to them is, who created the neighborhood? The guns didn't come in here by themselves. The drugs didn't come here by themselves. So let's have a deep conversation if you want to talk about and you want to point fingers. No,
Mike. These people are not about logic. It's like arguing. Okay. It's like arguing with your ex.
I got you.
What do you expect? What do you expect?
But that is a good question. It's a very good question. Where did these things come from? Because they didn't come from us. They came from outside forces that are
the guns came from outside. The drugs came from outside. We were the most married community as it relates to whores or sexual promiscuity, but I don't think that's limited to just black people.
Yeah. But you made a good point right there, Donnie, like what's happening over there. You know, you look at us, what they call us African Americans in the military, you know, we hold a big portion. Like in the Army, we over 20%, Marine Corps, we about 12%. The other branches, we about 15, 17%. So that's a lot of us that's going over there and possibly going to be losing our lives in the conflicts that's over there. You get what I mean? So I think we need to be looking at things serious. You know, a lot of us don't look at these politics like that until it's late, until we in action, you know. I was looking the other day and I seen videos of U.S. troops on ground over that way.
Yeah, so, body bags coming home. So these same people who were throwing bricks at my community, get ready because your children are going through. They gonna get drafted too. You people that voted for this guy, this is what you wanted. You about to get it. You about to get all that you asked for. And when the body bags come home, don't cry. This is what you asked for. You kept going over there smacking the lion out at the zoo, and you're about to get it.
They're trying to put the big boy drawers on. You know what I'm saying?
Put your big boy drawers on. We don't want to hear none of that crying.
Yeah.
And this is the world's most critical oil shipping lane, the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah. Some countries get 80% of their oil from there. India, for one.
You think about it,
Japan.
Is it a ploy to get all the people on that side of the world to rush to our oil? Is it a money grab? That's about the big money grab that Trump and his cronies is playing by playing this game with that strait over there. You get what I mean?
Well, you always have
I want to know who of these Republicans have the testicular fortitude to charge this man with all of this money he's making in front of everyone. I mean, it's illegal. You the president. He over there doing business deals, Jack.
Welcome to America.
That's right.
That's what they do.
Follow the money.
They two-face you. They smile you with one hand and stab you in the back with the other.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of investments going on. He's still talking about the Bitcoin and all that type stuff.
Yeah.
Grifters be grifting and recolonizing.
Can you understand
you voted for? Say it again, Mike.
Can you understand I was saying, can you understand the economic impact that's going to have on us for them doing that? When you go to buy your food, anything you buy, everything is going up. And if we think it's bad now with these prices, we haven't seen anything until these fools stop talking about, man, blocking that oil from coming in.
Yeah,
but you know what? That's what's going to get us. That's what's going to get us the midterm. Really, keep on doing what he's doing. We're guaranteed the middle terms, and we're going to take the Senate and the House.
But we already, Michael, we deep in bed into it now. It ain't gonna stop because new people come in office. We already, like Tiny said, we done hit the line now. So what I'm saying, we already struggling. You look, gas almost $4 here in Michigan, and I'm noticing that it's burning quick as hell. You know, it's burning quicker. So it's like they cutting the gas now. I don't know what's going on. So I think a lot of but if you look at it, I think they want to go back to the train systems, these bus systems, the people riding bikes and stuff. Because
nobody riding no damn bike. Stop that,
man.
They
look
got
at
bike lanes all taking up parking spaces.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Peter, you got so many damn bike lanes. Make what? Next time you see somebody, man, don't get me started about the bike lanes.
I
You
think that's
stuck in
what
traffic. You stuck in traffic. Got a whole damn bike lane that's empty. And somebody trying to lock you up because you getting in the bike lane.
Yeah,
why they
that's what we
still
call
talking about burning for?
that's what we call middle class approach in the city. That's what they do out there out in the middle class. You don't bring no stuff like that to the inner city. Doesn't work. Doesn't
All right,
make
I'm gonna
sense.
give it to you raw. I'm in the supermarket today planning. The cashier, the older melanated woman, she was having one of them days. She was about to check out for the day. And as I'm getting closer to my turn, I'm just looking at the look on her face, and she's got that, and just one of them grab your head and take a breath, and ooh, and then I finally get up to her, and she tells me what it is. Sister, what's going on? Planet. She said, I done had a day. I said, what kind of day? Planet. She said 5 people got locked up for shoplifting in the supermarket. She said one lady had so much stuff in she had pockets. She had pockets sewn in the bottom, and just dumping stuff in. Said one lady had like $400 worth of stuff. She had so much stuff she couldn't even walk out the door. So the cashier was saying essentially that people are hurting out here, and people are trying. They tried. It's a giant. That's a chain here in Baltimore. I don't know if you have them, but it's a supermarket chain, pretty standard quality, decent stuff. But 5 people got locked up this Sunday, shoplifting, because times is hard. With rats eating onions, crying like a baby, leaking Gillette blue blades, like 1929.
It is, man. You so on point, man. But it's naturally, even here in Tampa, man, people are stealing because they don't have money, man. It is bad. And people don't understand if it's bad for the middle class. Imagine how it feels to the average person in the streets. It's
I
crazy.
wanted to say that. I wanted to share this with you, Mike, that quite often here in Baltimore, the black kids were getting a lot of negative press. They call them squeegee kids.
Right, I heard.
They was getting a lot of negative press to squeegee kids. They stand at the corner and clean your window. Right. And there were a couple of incidents with actually a white man got killed. He jumped out of his car with a bat. And one of them kids put that biscuit on him. Yeah. But what I'm getting to is that, Mike, you would not believe that the number of non-black addicts that are walking around your old community looking like they come straight out of a zombie movie.
It's not surprising. We got the best dope in Sandtown. Well, they're going to come where the best dope is. And because you got more white junkies in general, that means you're going to have more white junkies coming to Sandtown. It used to be a time when that wouldn't have happened. There was no way somebody white would be coming up there like that.
Well, when Freddie Gray happened in 2015, the police stopped checking people, and they stopped the jump out because that had been found to be illegal. Because the police here used to jump out. Planet, Hannibal, they call jump out. That was their nickname, jump out. And believe it or not, it actually made people think twice about carrying a gun.
Yeah.
But after Freddie Gray, all of that was deemed unconstitutional, illegal. And so the police pretty much like, bump it, do what you want to do. And so I don't know that it's better at all.
I don't think so, man. I don't think so. Because when you give a little freeway, some people take it all the way to the max. And I think that's what happened with that. Because things have gotten worse since Freddie Gray. So yeah. But at the same time, people don't understand, man. It's a lot of hope for Sandtown because there's so many good people, so many smart people in Sandtown. The problem with Sandtown is more resources because you got the people that's very articulate like Donnie and everybody that's very smart, but the resource must match the compensation, bottom line, because there's so much potential, so many smart people.
I think their attention ain't on even their own kind being poor and being neglected. You know what I'm saying? I don't, you know, I think we more of a caring people where we don't want to see.
That's why the poor white people come to this neighborhood and find themselves panhandling and begging. Because I'm right at the corner. We're at the red light, and there are no more squeegee kids. There are now homeless white people standing on the corner in the black community asking for money. And so I watched this white man. He was at the light right next to me. And that white person came down, and he kept straight face. He didn't look at her at all. He played like he wasn't looking over there. It was no eye contact. Look straight ahead.
Because a lot of people don't see themselves, don't see themselves.
But the thing to get me is the black people that pull over and be giving the poor white people dollars.
Yeah.
That's our nature, man. That's our nature.
I don't get that part. How do you help us? I don't know.
That's our nature, man. That's just our nature.
Yeah. I would want somebody to help me in that situation. So, you know, I think we could a lot of us visualize ourselves in that situation, possibly. You know, could see ourselves in them shoes. You know what I mean? And if you was in them shoes, you know, that's a rough place to be.
We've been in them shoes. And so, you know, I was talking with a white guy today about the two people that got shot out in Minnesota. And this white guy said to me, I was waiting for him to say all the way, like, now we know how y'all feel. That's what I wanted to hear him say. He wouldn't quite say it. Just talked about it's wrong. Mike Brown, it's wrong. Eric Garner, it's wrong. George Floyd is wrong. Medgar Evers is wrong. And countless others. Laura Nelson, who got lynched. The same day her son got lynched.
Here's something for you. And if they Irish or Scottish, a lot of the Europeans consider them niggas. Excuse my language. If you white and you Irish or Scottish, they consider you black. So that's probably the reason why they don't help as much, or they see them as drug addicts.
Well, let me say this in the Latino community. I've seen Latinos who have no empathy for illegal Latinos.
Yep, same way.
One Latino told me to call ICE on another Latino. I can't do that, bro. I can't do that. I cannot bring myself to call ICE. I just can't. Not me personally. To me, that's just, I know we've seen what that has done to my people. Why would I do that to somebody? Help me out, Peter. You're a humanist. Could you call ICE on a Latino?
Hell no. And I hope it's more people like us out there too. No, man, it's the same thing. You just replace Mexican with Jew.
I was around these white people. They were talking about Jews. I was around these white people talking about Jews. I had never heard this conversation before in person. And the way they talked about Jews it had a planet. It was so wicked. It was so hateful.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm thinking is, when you gonna talk about me?
Mm-hmm.
I know it's coming.
That's a good
I
way
know
to look
it's
at
coming.
It. Absolutely.
I mean, couple more, because we were at a bar. Just a couple more of them shots. And then we gonna hear that magic word that black people know it's time to go. What's that magic word? You want me to tell you? I'm gonna tell you the magic word when black people been around white people and they've been drinking, and you know it's time to go. You ready? I want you to listen closely. Hee-haw! If you hear hee-haw, you know it's time. You better get your hind parts up out of Dodge.
Well, generally, when you're around a person who is ugly to another person, right? Eventually, if you stick around them, they will eventually be ugly to you.
So let's talk about this, Mr. Eric Fernandez. Eric, you know, you're making some sly little comments. And so we're going to do What's only fair, we're going to put the link in the chat, and we welcome you to come in, because I'm Latino, Eric Fernandez, and I like your statement here. Latinos, no matter what, if you speak Spanish, we have a code. Yo hablo español, señor. Tell me about your code. Tell me about your code, Eric Fernandez. And where are you from, sir? This will be fun. Come on in and make our day. Who do you think? How many think he will come in? Let's take a vote. If you think he'll come in, I think he'll come in.
I think
he'll come in if he can handle the heat. If not, stay out the room, because this is our play.
Come on, Eric Fernandez. Bienvenido, señor. Señor, bienvenido. Necesito.
We need you. Necesitamos.
My Aunt Rose worked for actor Eric Estrada, who grew up with us and didn't learn Spanish until he was grown. You know, come on, no, Eric, no, escribe, habla, in video, on camera, TV. No, Eric, no more writing. Come on in. No more, you get no more time.
I think a lot of the Latino population, romantic, man. Yeah,
I mean the Latinos. You know, to say all Latinos. Come on, that's like all black people. Come on, that's stupid.
I'm saying the romantic.
I got Latino friends, man. That's ludicrous. You got Latinos that are stupid. Just like you got black that is stupid. But I got a lot of Latino friends myself, right? And they understand the struggle is about us together working jointly in order to get to where we need to get at. That it's not, in this society, it's not about separate, but in order for us to really get where we need to get, it means that we have to collectively come together in order to come against the structure, because the structure ain't got no love. And if anything, I think that Spanish know they ain't got no love because they're trying to send eyesight for every last one of them. So it's a we type of thing if we want to be able to get through this particular thing. And that's the way God works sometimes. He make us all get together in order to solve. I was with a
Latino young lady yesterday, and she did not know. She was from Mexico. Y'all would be proud of me. What do y'all think I shared with this Latino lady who is not melanated? What do you think I shared with her that she didn't know?
About us being indigenous? Did you tell her? Did you share with her?
She didn't know that Mexico had a black president.
The first
one. I didn't even know that.
You ain't know that long before Barack Obama, man. That's what I'm saying. Cats come on here talking smack and don't even know their own damn history. And if he come on here, that's why we want to see him. Because I know Hannibal got a whole bag full of tricks for him. Come on in here, Eric. Where you at, amigo? Vicente Guerrero. So don't come on here if you don't know your history. And the Latino girl was like, he don't look black. Black boo-boo.
I think they don't understand the caste system outside of North America. The caste system has really...
And they forget what the Spanish did to them.
That's what I'm saying. The caste system has got them, well, even the term Latino, that's a misnomer, kind of say.
Eric Fernandez don't want none. I'm convinced. He don't want none. He got a lot of sidebar comments. He don't want none. KS95, we appreciate you. Vicente Guerrero.
His story, you know, if you look into his story, he fought the U.S., you know what I'm saying? He fought him a lot. And there was a lot of people coming, a lot of countries coming after him during that time. You know, and then we was, you know, at the emancipation and all that, we was moving around too, leaving, going to Mexico. You know, a lot of us going to Canada. You know, so we all over. You know, our actual bloodlines.
I shared with you about Chief John Horse in my second book, I Am Black Wall Street. Chief John Horse came out of Florida. They fought in the Second Seminole War, something they didn't teach us anything about. And he fought to a truce against the likes of Andrew Jackson. Actually, Andrew Jackson fought, I think, in the Third Seminole War. But they never told us about the Seminole Wars.
Yeah.
That we had no idea that was us.
Yeah. They don't talk about King Cujo, Abraham, Pompey. They don't talk about these guys. You know. Yeah. But these are names that, like when I say you can Google them and you'll see their history, especially down with the Seminoles and the Muskogee. When you say Seminole, you talk about a Muskogee or a Muskogee people speaking person that ran away. From, you know, they got to running away out of Coosa down into Florida. That's why a lot of the places in Florida is named after the same places in Alabama. So that's how you learn your history, you know. Talladega, Tallapoosa, all that, all them type of names is down in Apalachicola, all that same Alabama, Georgia, Florida. You know, when they running out of them places, and then they got a lot of strange way how when they go somewhere else, they name the towns the same. So that's why you go out in Oklahoma, the towns in Oklahoma is the same names of the towns in Alabama. So this is for Eric Fernandez. All right. Since you don't want to come on, I knew you weren't. We knew you weren't. But since you don't want to come on, I just want to take you this. I know you Taino. That's why you won't come on the screen. So we're gonna take you to, what do you call it? Planet, the Olmec civilization.
Mm-hmm.
What are you often talking about?
He said Taino, we can go back where he from, go to Puerto Rico and show him that the Taino was black. And go to see them Caribs, some Carib Indians that went back over to, you know, they took the Carib tribe and they took them back over to Seville, where that Barbara Seville, Figaro, they took them people back over there, and those was black natives. So our history, he don't want to. I think the thing is it all depends on where you at and where you from. You know, I'm to the point where
this is the thing. Even the racism that a lot of Latinos, not all, of course not, have picked up, thanks to Trump and how he has emboldened people to say racist things. Why do you hate melanated people? I mean, what did melanated people do to white people today to make them hate us? What? We built
fear.
Fear?
Envy.
But what does this, why is a Latino guy coming over here defending like Trump and racism? Why?
Because
what do you have to do with this?
Because the feeling is that Trump and that crew, right, is the exalted, highest professional and successful people on earth. So it's a way of getting closer in their mind to that. Right? So any people that are not that, there is a hierarchy that's in place for them to want to be closer to them than you. So by putting their foot down on darker melanated people, it makes them feel more superior. That's simple game.
Okay, well, while they doing all that stepping on people's necks, can somebody just take a washcloth, some hot water, and some soap and put it on Trump's hind parts? Because people are by him saying he stinks. And I've never heard anybody say a grown president stink. But remember during the election, Mr. Trump, vote for Mr. Trump, vote for Mr. And then the next commercial is, Donald Trump, boy, why did you deport us?
But it shouldn't be far-fetched because they have racism within their culture too. A lot of them want to be white.
Right.
They got this thing. I forgot the term they use to when they tell their daughters not to marry someone black to quote unquote better the race. This is what a lot of Latinos are.
Better the race game, right?
You know what I mean? So we can understand his logic. You know what I'm saying? If you hear this from your family, your mother, your father, your grandparents, and them telling you this stuff, you know, you can see why it's ingrained in them. But reality hits them, you know, some of them, when they come to intertwine with us or interact with us. That's when
But then they want black people to stand up for this cause. Want black people to stand up for that cause. They want to come in and ride on the backs of all of the work that blacks have done in civil rights, blacks and others. You want to benefit off the work we've done.
Yeah.
They don't understand that.
But
you know what I want
to come in and jump the line.
But we always been the group to tell them. We always been the group that tell others, hey, watch out for them. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna get you in the long run, and then when they bite them, it's like we gotta tell them we told you so.
I'm not a Trumpster. I've never been, and me and Mike Lane, that was one of the things me and Mike Lane differed on, definitely. He was talking about Trump. Dog. I voted for Republicans before here in Maryland. Ronald Reagan scared the hell out of me back in, 96? Whenever it was. I know the number in Baltimore was 666 the day he was elected. But Trump, no. First of all, he's a pedophile. He should be locked up. How can you vote for somebody who you know has sex with little girls? What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Release the damn files. Release the files. Stop BSing. Stop
and
it.
Indict somebody.
If Obama would have did a fraction of what you let this orange tangerine do, you would have wanted to lynch him. So go sit down.
Yeah, but we're seeing that it's bigger than just that.
Much bigger.
I think this is a dog and pony show that we're seeing, and like we being preoccupied as something bigger is about to happen.
Stealing.
Like one of our viewers said earlier. He said always around February and March is always something big that happens. You know, so there's always something that distracts the public, you know, from what's actually happening. We'll find that out maybe this winter coming up. You know what I mean? What's actually going on, you know. But I feel that we gotta keep up to our objective, you know, even though it's a lot of chaos and a lot of distracting things that can take our attention away. You know, we still got to do our due diligence and remain focused and not let things distract us, you know, because it's easy to be distracted and thrown off our course.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Planet Wells, do you know how much a gallon of gas is in Hawaii?
I think it's like